Hi, this is Phil, and I'm going to show you how to make a chicken in a waterless cookware, and it comes out to be the best chicken you've ever had. And you can put it in the refrigerator, take it out the next day, heat it up, it's even better. And here's how it works. I like to lay the chicken out in a like a cookie sheet where I'm going to spice it up, and the only spices that I'm going to use are simply fresh cracked pepper, garlic, and fresh ground sea salt. And so let's get started. As you can see, I've got it all spiced up on one side, and I am not scared to use the garlic or the pepper for that matter. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a fork and I'm going to turn them over, and we're just going to do it to the other side. Here we go. Alright, here we are on the stove. I got my chicken ready. It's really important that you use a stainless steel pan. I like to use All-Clad brand. Just a nice stainless steel pan, and got to have a lid for the pan. First thing we do is turn the burner on absolute high and get this pan pretty hot, because when we put the chicken in, we want that chicken to cluck and sizzle so we hear it. And while the pan is heating up, what you want to do is get yourself just a glass of water, because this is the only liquid that we're really going to use. But initially we're not going to put anything in that pan, no oil, no grease, no butter, anything, but it's just going to be straight up chicken on the pan. Now when we first put the chicken in the pan, I prefer to put the chicken smooth skin down. That's the side that's not against the backbone of the chicken, but it's the face up side. And listen to this chicken sizzle when we put it in. Start piling it in. Just note that I'm just kind of packing it in there. And at first you're going to be thinking, gosh, the chicken's burning. But not really. I'm going to put this other big piece right here and just squeeze it in. I'm not going to put these little pieces in with it. I'll do them later because they're going to cook a lot faster than these big fat pieces. Now notice, you're going to want to let this cook on high like this for a good 30 seconds up to a minute. And it is going to smell like it's burning at first, but it's not. So just let it go. And then what we're going to do at a certain point in time, I'm going to pour water into the pan, but I'm going to try and pour it into these blank spots and on the side. I don't want to pour it right on the chicken because that's going to wash off the spices, which I don't want to do. So, now what's important, what's happening here is you're going to get that nice brown crust on the chicken is what's going to happen. As soon as I pour the water in, it's going to go crazy. And then what we're going to do is we're going to let that cook for another couple of minutes so you see around the edges of the chicken getting white right in here. And then we're going to go ahead and we'll put the lid on and turn the temperature on a little bit. So here comes the water. And that's exactly what should be happening. Don't hurt yourself with the steam. I'm going to pour a little on the edge here. Now look at that. So what you're going to want to do is just let that go until that water is just about boiled down into just a nice paste on the bottom of the pan. Because once we continue this process, we'll let it condense down, then we pour a little more water, condense down. We pour less and less water each time, and that's going to turn into a really nice sauce in the bottom of the pan. See how it's just about gone? You're getting a nice brown tinge on the bottom. Kind of hard to see it on video, but there's a brown tinge on the bottom of the plate, or the bottom of the pan right here. So that's pretty much cooked out. So we're going to put one more round of water in. I'm going to tilt the pan around so that water distributes. And so now what I'm going to do, where'd my lid go? I'm going to put a lid on it. And now I'm just going to turn the temperature down to a little, somewhere between medium, about 1/2 and 3/4. Right about in here, because there's off, here's low. We're going to turn it right up here in the middle. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait and listen for the pan to stop, the chicken to stop making a lot of noise in that pan. When we lift the lid off here in a minute, and I turn that chicken, you're going to be stunned. Alright, that's been cooking for about, I'd say about 2-3 minutes. I'm going to take this lid off. Now look at that down in there. You're going to see some nice brown juice. Now watch how easy this is to turn with my fork. The chicken literally comes right off the pan, and look at that. And turn it over. It's nice and brown. Got for each one. And if you turn these over, you can see the chicken's already pretty cooked. Now this was fresh chicken from Whole Foods. And notice that there's no more water in the bottom of the pan. It's kind of boiled away. Turn that over. See that brown stuff stuck to the bottom of the pan? On our next round of water, that's what's going to bake off and turn into our juice. So I'm going to pour a little more water in there like that. I'm going to put the lid back on. And I'm going to cook it until the chicken is done. You need to do that yourself. The chicken's done when the chicken's done. I think you know what I mean there. So I'll come back in just a minute and we're going to see the final product. Alright, it's been a couple minutes. We're going to check in on the chicken. And as you can see, we got lots of brown juice boiling there. I'm going to turn that heat down to about 1/4 and let it simmer. And now we're just going to let it cook slowly in the pan, and that simmering is going to go down. Let's just take a look here. And oh yeah. Oh, fogged up my camera lens. Anyway, doesn't that look good? It looks even better. This boneless, skinless chicken breast, about 140, 150 calories for every 4 ounces. These are probably 6-ounce puppies, each one of them. They're pretty plump. You can touch that, and it's the way it looks, the way it's kind of sweating right now. It's probably pretty done. You don't want to overcook the chicken, but you want it to be nice and moist. And I can just kind of tease that apart with a fork here, and it's pretty much ready and juicy, really juicy. I'm liking that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the lid on. I'm going to turn the heat all the way down, just a little over low. We're going to prepare the vegetables. Alright, now that this smells really good, those are nice and done right about now. So what I like to do too is I'll turn the heat off and I'll set this pan aside. And I'm just going to let this rest for, gosh, at least probably 5 to at least maybe even 10 minutes, and just let the chicken settle down a little bit. This whole process has been maybe 12 to 14 minutes tops. And I bought the chicken already skinned and deboned, so all I did was threw some salt, pepper, garlic on there. Every once in a while I'll throw some Lowry's on it too. That's very helpful. And then from there, threw it in a pan that had no water or anything else, and the only thing I added to it was water. How simple does it get? But it's all about technique. So practice with the technique of just heating it up real high, let that chicken sizzle at you, then throw the water in there, let it really get hot, and then turn it down, add a little more water, just like we showed in the video here. And you're going to love it like I do. This is the best chicken that you can put in the fridge, and you'll come back the next day. I promise you it tastes better the second and third day if you keep eating it for tossed salads or a quick sandwich at lunch. It just tastes better as you go. Alright, so here we are. We're going to plate. I have 4 red new potatoes. I have a little under, about a half cup of green beans. So I'm going to take the lid off my chicken, and look at that. I don't know if you can see the steam coming up off of there, but I'm gonna grab, I don't know, that looks really tasty. I'm gonna grab this big one right here. It's about 6 ounces probably. I'm gonna lay that on the plate, and then I'm gonna put a little zing on here. I'm gonna open up these new potatoes while they're still nice and hot, and I'm gonna put a 1/4 cup of grated Parmesan on there because I like Parmesan cheese on my potatoes. I'm also going to salt and pepper that. Now, here's the cool part about this. This whole thing took maybe outside 20 minutes, very tops. And this whole dinner is about 441 calories. It'd only be 341 if I had not used the Parmesan cheese. So that is the kicker. So, well under 500 calories. What a great meal. A lot of food, as a matter of fact. And boy, is it going to be tasty. Let's take a look here. Kind of open up this chicken, and look how juicy, and I promise you it's tender too. Hopefully you can see that it's just glistening with nice and moist. And let me see here. Hold on. QC. Since I'm the cook, I got a QC. I'm telling you, this is the bomb. And the other thing I didn't do, I didn't take any of that juice out of the pan. I like to pour that in the Ziploc bag, which I store the extras for tomorrow in, so they marinate in that overnight. One last thing, if you want to kick it up another notch with another 100 calories, put a tablespoon of butter in here on the stage where you're turning the heat down, and this will literally turn into a pretty creamy little sauce. That's really, really good too. So, there you have it. Alright, so here's the end result. This is the additional chicken that I cooked. You can see that there's all kinds of nice brown juice in the bag. You can put that in the fridge and take it out a piece at a time for lunch, for dinner. You can chop it up cold on salads and get a little bit of this juice dribbled on it too. But man, you can't beat it. It's good stuff. So there's a nice healthy meal you can make in 20 minutes and you can eat on it for a couple days.